Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to week 5 of my London Marathon training series. So unbelievably, we're in week 5 and we're heading into February now, which means time to build the mileage. Everything I've done in the first 4 weeks has got me to this point. So we're 12 weeks out now, so the goals really are for February to really increase that mileage. I'll very briefly recap on week 4, just so we know where we're at. Last week was a race week, so the mileage was down. So the mileage was 48.5 miles. My body weight was 70 kilos exactly. My Strava fitness was 76. My longest run was only 12 miles because it was a race. And injuries, no real injuries as such. I did have a bit of sort of redness after the race due to all the rain, but no injuries as such. So now we know where we're at, and we know that the goals for this week is mileage. Let's see how we got on. Monday started with a commute to work. To be honest, it was born out of frustration. I was a bit unhappy with how Sunday's race went, and I should have probably taken a day off. The rain was still atrocious come the Monday, but I was sort of pig-headed and I just wanted to do more training. So I got absolutely soaked on the way into work. I got absolutely soaked on the way home from work. And I really did carry those frustrations into the day with me, and I shouldn't have, to be honest. Come around to Tuesday, I'd had a word with myself and just realised, look, you didn't have a great run because of the weather, and it affected everybody, so just calm down. The whole point of your running is to enjoy it, and it's a hobby at the end of the day. And if you stop enjoying it and you force yourself to go out for runs when you probably shouldn't, then it's not a hobby anymore. So Tuesday I had a word with myself, said, right, take the day off. The weather's still bad, just take the day off. Which I did. And by the time Wednesday had come round, I was in a much better headspace, much more relaxed. So I enjoyed my commute in. I have noticed that the run commutes are getting quicker. We're down to about 7:15 per mile, and when they started it was about 7:45. I'm not really increasing the effort too much, but I'm just finding my easy pace is running, which is encouraging to see. And then on the way home, the sunsets are now coming out, so it's quite nice. I've still got the head torch on, but I don't really use it until the last sort of mile and a half. And the sunsets are really enjoyable on the way home, so it's becoming really nice on the way home too. Before it was all in the dark and I wasn't too keen on it, to be honest. Thursday was another commute day, so a commute into the sunrise, lovely sunrise, and then commute into the sunset, again, another lovely sunset. And it's really nice. The weather's much warmer. I'm not wearing the gloves anymore. And the whole thing's much more enjoyable. And I can feel my fitness improving. Friday morning was a run commute in. And if I'm honest, I can feel a little bit of fatigue creeping in. I just feel a bit tired and a bit sluggish. The pace is still fine, but I just feel a bit not quite with it. Do you know what I mean? However, that all went away because Friday lunchtime, I got a very exciting email. So exciting, I've printed it out from the London Marathon. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this, and it's finally come through. Imagine being on week 5 of the training plan and not having confirmation that you're actually doing the London Marathon. Well, finally, they've said, yes, you are doing it. And I've got the email here. Hi, Aaron. We are delighted to let you know that you have qualified for a championship place at the 2025 TCS London Marathon. And I knew I was going to do, I knew I was in, I had the qualifying time, and I've always known I was going to do it. But when you finally get that email that comes through and says, yes, we'd like you to compete, we're doing it, it just stops you in your tracks. And I've been in such a high vibration ever since. It puts into perspective everything you've trained for and everything you've done. You've got to this point, you get an email from London Marathon saying you're in. And to be honest, it makes me so emotional. I'm so happy that I've got it. So I just need to train really hard now and give a good account of myself. And then when I got home on Friday, I did a bit of strength and conditioning. I do like to do some of this in my training blocks, but I don't really have the time. But I managed to find some time on Friday. So I got into the gym, or my home gym, and I did some squats. As you see here, I keep the weight very light, but I focus on my form. So I keep a really straight back. I go down slowly, all the way down, and then focus on that mind-muscle connection with my quads and use my quads to drive myself up. And I do about 15 or 16 reps. And if you do it slowly and steady, you feel the burn. So I did about 5 sets of that, and then I did some shoulders work just because I like to do some upper body as well. Saturday I took a day off. My glands had swollen in the morning. I said about Friday I was starting to feel fatigued. Well, Saturday I woke up, my glands were up, really inflamed. I felt, oh, there's a cold coming. So I took Saturday off, and then I rolled into Sunday and I did attempt a run. My glands were still up and I attempted a run. So let's have a look at the footage now. Good morning. It's Sunday. It's long run day. But unfortunately, I've woken up with a cold. I had a cold coming on yesterday and my glands are really swollen today. And I had all these ideas of doing an 18-miler, hilly 18-miler, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, change of plan. I want to get something done. The rest of the week's been pretty good, actually. I want to get something done, so I'm just going to go out easy running and just see how I get on. And if I have to call it really early, I'll just call it and slack it off, because I don't want to ruin next week or the week after by getting really ill. So it's just no pressure running. Just take it easy. I'm on 43 for the week, so even if I get 7 in, that's 50. That's all right. Now, incredibly, I'm starting to perk up. I didn't think that going for a run with a cold coming would make me perk up, but it is making me. So maybe I will get a long run in after all. Just have to see how we go. Don't want to go overboard. Don't want to risk it. I can't lie, I'm very surprised with the way I'm feeling. I'm 7 miles in and I'm perking right up. When I left the house, I felt bloody awful. And I thought maybe I'd do like 4 or 5 miles at most. I think I'm feeling now where we might get a proper long run in. Maybe it's just a vicious circle, but a good one. I've gone out and done more miles than I thought I would, so I feel good about it. So I've done some more, and I feel even better because of it. And maybe I'm still ill, but I just feel enthusiastic by what I'm achieving. So maybe I'll crash and burn when I get home, but I'm feeling all right. I've run from Braunton to Barnstable. That was all into a headwind. So I know I got 5 miles of tailwind on the way home, so that will be all right. So I'm just feeling really optimistic about it, which is good. Our very own Big Ben. It's not quite the Westminster embankment, bizarre version. It's my feeling now that these 5 miles running home are going to be nice and comfortable because I've got a tailwind. I'm 8 miles in, so nice easy 5 home gets me to 13, then I'll see where I go from there. Might carry on, might not. Fueling today, had a coffee, had an electrolyte drink, and had a brioche bun. I wouldn't normally have the electrolyte drink or the brioche bun, but because I'm feeling a bit ropey, I felt like I needed the energy. So I talk about the Tarka Trail quite a lot. Well, what is it? It's basically an old railway line. It's 31 miles long, but basically they ripped up the tracks and tarmacked the lot, and it runs by the river. So, amazing place to train. It starts in Braunton, it goes through Barnstable, Bideford, out to Torrington, and then beyond. So it's pancake flat, like I said, runs by the river. It's a brilliant place to train.
If anyone knows what that is, I've always wondered. Big concrete structure. No idea. So it's decision time. I'm 90 minutes in, approaching home, but there is a little half an hour loop I can tack on to make a nice 2-hour long run. And I'm deciding whether I should or shouldn't do it. I seem to have perked right up. Still got a bit of a sore throat, swollen glands, but I don't think I'm going to destroy myself doing another 30 minutes. So I think I will go for it. Two hours incoming. 16.5 miles. Well, I don't know how I did that. 17 miles done. 2 hours, 3 minutes. 7:15 average. When I left the house this morning, I felt flipping horrendous. And I did for the first 3 or so miles. And then I just sort of got into it. And come the end, I feel, you know, very slightly under the weather, but I feel like I've almost run the cold off, which is a first. Make sure I go home now and recover big time and have an early night, because it might just creep up on me later on. But I'm really surprised I've done that, and I think then I've done a 60-mile week. So really happy with that. Like I say, let's go back now and recover and spend the rest of the day just chilling out. Happy.
So there we are, all in all, a fairly successful training week. I wanted to hit some mileage, and I did. I hit 60 miles for the week, which is the highest in the block. And to be honest, I think it's probably the highest in about 6 months or so. So really happy with that. My body weight before the long run was 70.2. So that's crept up a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. It could be water weight this week, or a lack of water weight last week, or anything like that. I went out for a dinner on Friday and had a big dinner, so that could still be in my system. So I'm not too fussed about it. I haven't really started my aggressive dieting yet. So 70.2 is okay. My Strava fitness ended the week on 75. During the week, it got to 78, which is an increase on last week's 76. But I think it's probably down to 75 now, probably because I'm a little bit under the weather. So my heart rate was probably a bit higher, working a bit harder. So I'm not too stressed about that. It's still going in the general direction of where I want it to go. So I'm not too stressed about that. My long run was 17 miles. Somehow I pulled that out of the bag while feeling rough. I did feel much better come the end, but I've got 17 miles, over 2 hours. So I was happy with that. And injuries, absolutely nothing, except for this sort of lingering cold that I've still got, but no injuries, so I'm really happy with that. So overall, a really successful training week. Moving now into the rest of February, I'd really want to hit at least 60 miles every single week and try maybe get into the 70s, but we'll have to see how we go. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. That was another successful training week, and I'm glad I could share it with you guys. If you like this content and you want to see more, please give me a like and a subscribe. And if you've got any comments, please leave them below. I'll be happy to get back to you. So in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.